Just to let you know, everyone, what's happening as well as you on stream. In the summer, the last service at the Kingsbrook congregation is on the 16th of July. We're inviting the congregation over there to come and join us for the remaining 2 Sundays in July. And then our last service here, the camera is moving here. Do you notice that? It's very seamlessly done. Our last service here at the Canal Basin is on August the 6th. We've then got a barbecue and a picnic and church in the park for the rest of August, and then we meet for the first time as a whole congregation over at the Kingsbrook View Primary Academy on the 3rd of September. So I hope you've got that in your diaries. We are starting or restarting our sermon series, which we've looked at earlier in the year, on 1 Peter. This is the year of IF, which is the year of infectious faith, and we're talking about everything being something that actually makes our faith go down deep and that we can give it away. We've just come through COVID, where it affected us if we got COVID, and we passed it on very easily. So we're looking at 1 Peter. How does 1 Peter help us to have an infectious faith? Jack last week said that he felt he got a bit of a rum deal by having the last one in the series in money. Jack, nothing compared to this. We're looking at husbands and wives and all the bit about submission and being, I can feel the blood pressure raising here. So I just want to say a few things, 3 things this morning to help us read this passage. Firstly, and children, by the way, I want you to help me. If mums and dads, if you can guide your children to help me, that'd be great. We're first of all going to learn some Hebrew. Hebrew was the language that they spoke before Jesus was born. That's a big squashy thing, isn't it? So, the first point I want to make is that men and women are different. Boys and girls are different. What does the Bible say about that? Well, if we go right back to the beginning of the Bible, to Genesis 2, verse 18, it says that God saw that Adam was alone, and that was not good for him. So he wanted a friend, because we like friends, don't we? We want friends. And he paraded all the animals in front of Adam, and not one of them was suitable as a helper for him or as a companion. Now this is where the Hebrew comes in. So children, can you, I don't know whether I'm out of screen now, we can't show the children obviously, but children, can you learn this Hebrew word, and adults as well? This is, are you ready? Kenegdo. Can you repeat that? It's kenegdo. Kenegdo. Can you remember that? Kenegdo. Kenegdo stands for, what it means is suitable helper. And God was looking for a suitable helper, what was it? Kenegdo, a kenegdo. Now you can split that word up, ke and then negdo. Ke means similar and negdo means opposite. So it was someone that was similar to Adam but opposite. Okay, that's what that Hebrew word means. And it's why the passage we're going to read in a short time gives different roles to men and women. This is talking about marriage, but I'm going to talk generally about men and women, boys and girls this morning. God was looking for a soulmate who was similar but different, who was similar but opposite, the same but opposite. Second point, that was my first point. Men and women, boys and girls are different. Second point is marriage is about the heart. Now, I don't profess to be very good about this. This is my confession time. But I'm married to Anne, and when I can remember and when I deliberately do it and when I'm trying to do things, I want Anne's heart. Yeah? I want to do her heart good. I want her heart to feel better when we are together. She's smiling at me, so that's looking good. I want to restore her heart. Now, I've got a couple of willing volunteers here. Luke and Natalie, will you come up, please? Well, they're sort of willing. You need to be standing in shot. Okay, I'm just going to ask them to do a few things, and let's see. Children, watch this, because this is funny. You want to watch this? Okay. What's happening to their hearts when they look at each other and smile? Go on. Can you see it? Can you see it? Okay, what's happening to their hearts when they hold hands? Is it doing you good? Is it? Yeah, and you, Natalie, as well. Good. What's happening to their hearts when they hug each other? Go on. Oh. This is doing them a lot of good because it's now for the world to see as well. What's happening to their hearts when they kiss? Oh, come on. No. That's all he gets. That's all he gets. I think I'm going to stop there. We won't go any further, but thank you, Luke and Natalie, for helping me out there. When we do things for other people, we're doing it for their hearts. Now, especially in a marriage, but we can apply this to all of us. In some ways, if we're looking to each other's hearts, and the passage is about marriage, if we're looking to each other's hearts, who cares if it says submission or respect or honour? Let's read the passage together. I think it's going to be on the screen. I'm not sure you'll be able to see. Andre, will you? There we go. Let me read this to you. This is from the Message, and it's from 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 1 to 7. The same goes for you wives. Be good wives to your husbands, responsive to their needs. But remember, it's about the heart. There are husbands who, indifferent as they are to any words about God, will be captivated by your life of holy beauty. What matters is not your outer appearance, the styling of your hair, the jewelry you wear, the cut of your clothes, but your inner disposition. Cultivate inner beauty, the gentle, gracious kind that God delights in. The holy women of old were beautiful before God that way, and were good, loyal wives to their husbands. Sarah, for instance, taking care of Abraham, would address him as my dear husband. You'll be true daughters of Sarah if you do the same, unanxious and unintimidated. The same goes for you husbands. Be good husbands to your wives. Honor them, delight in them. As women, they lack some of your advantages. Remember, it's about the heart. But in the new life of God's grace, you're equals. Treat your wives then, as equals, so your prayers don't run aground. Thank you, Susan. You can take that down now. First 2 points. The first one, that men and women, boys and girls, are different. Second, that actually we're after each other's heart. We're there to do each other's heart good. And the third point I want to make is, what does Paul call us to do or to be? As men, as women, as boys and girls. Not just if you're married, but if you're single as well. What does Paul call us to do? Peter, not Paul. I've just checked. I've seen my obvious mistake there. Well, for girls and women, all right, listen, if you're a girl or a woman, it's your holy beauty, your inner beauty that counts. It's what's inside that makes you beautiful. And for men and boys down here, Eli and Noah and Ashwin, when you're old enough, Ashwin, maybe, yeah, you're listening, that's good. Men and boys, it's about honouring other people, especially women, and delighting in people. That's what Peter says. Honour and delight. But one of the things Peter says right at the end of the passage is, you are equal. Let's have none of this, one's better than the other. We are equal. Just want to ask you, children, can you remember the Hebrew word? What was it? What? Kenegdo. Kenegdo. And what does it mean? What does it mean? Can you remember? But opposite. Similar but opposite. Well done. Try and remember that. That's great. Thank you. What's one thing that we could take away from this morning? Have a think about that for a moment, and how will it help with an infectious faith? What's one thing you could take away? You don't need to tell me. Just reflect on it. What's one thing you could take away? Personally, I'm going to try and remember Anne's heart. What are you going to take away from this morning? How will it lead to an infectious faith, which is what we started on? If you remember, that passage talks about the effect that it will have on unbelievers, on people who don't know Jesus. By being the way that Peter describes, it rubs off on people. And the last thing it says, that prayers, so that your prayers don't run aground. Peter says that by doing these things, our prayers will be more effective. Let's just be quiet for a moment as we reflect, and then I'm going to ask Natalie and Luke again to come up with the boys. Let's just be quiet. Thank you. Yeah, we're finished now. Thank you for joining us on the stream, and please do catch up with the other sermons that you may have missed over recent weeks. Luke and Natalie, would you like to come up? We've got some words on